Stephen Howson, this is Full Time Devils, and this is a little bit of a quick live broadcast to talk about Cameron Borthwick-Jackson just being announced to go on a season on loan at Wolverhampton Wanderers. They are fresh off winning the Birmingham derby 3-1 against Birmingham City, and I've just been trying to talk to a couple of Wolves fans online, trying to figure out what's going to happen with him, where he's going to play, because I'm getting the word that Cameron Borthwick-Jackson will be playing in most games for Wolverhampton while he's on loan. I don't think the club want another Januzaj situation, so I do think that he is going to play quite a few games for them this season. Now, they've got a lad called Matt Doherty who's been playing left-back for Wolves at the moment, and he's probably their best player as it stands. So I don't think you're going to see Borthwick-Jackson come in and replace him as a left-back, but I do think Doherty is probably going to be moved over to be a right-back, moved over to be maybe even a centre-half. I'm not sure if he can play centre-half before, but I do think that Cameron's coming in as a left-back, maybe not as a centre-half himself, and I do think that this is an excellent move for Cameron. He is the sort of player that will develop with games. I think he's got a fantastic crossing ability, a real calmness about his play, good defensive abilities, and I think if it wasn't for Luke Shaw being there, who I think is on the cusp of being a world-class left-back, I would push Cameron to take the place at left-back ahead of someone like Blin, possibly, because of the pace that he's got, and possibly even ahead of Rojo. So I don't think he can compete with Luke Shaw. There's not really much to be had for Luke Shaw, is there? So I'm going to take some comments as well, and let's see what people say. Who likes Cameron Borthwick-Jackson? Well, Wolves, clearly. A bit louder. We are getting a bit louder. It's a shame for Borthwick-Jackson. He'll only have a backup for us because of Luke Shaw. I don't think it's a shame, to be honest. I think it's good. I think it's good for Luke Shaw, and it's good for Cameron Borthwick-Jackson. It's probably good for England, in all honesty, to get out there and get on loan and get some experience. We should keep him. I don't think we should keep him, in all honesty. I think it's good for him. This is where players develop. You need matches between 18 and 20, so you've got to go out and get matches. Rojo, says Rosser, with a pulled face. It is what it is. We should loan Rashford, or should we loan Rashford? Sorry, I didn't catch the name on that one. If Rashford's going to play games at United, if he's going to get matches at Manchester United, then I would say, no, you keep him at the club. If he's not going to get matches, then yes, you've got to take him out, then you've got to get matches, because that's the only way you develop. You don't develop by training, you develop by matches and proving yourself. Borthwick-Jackson's good, says Alex. Hope he comes back. Me too, mate. I do hope he comes back as well. Thoughts on Blackett, says Calzone. I really rate Blackett's personality. I really rate his work rate, and I only hear good things about him from people around the club. There was talk today that he might be going on Reading on loan to Reading with Jaap Stam, or possibly even a permanent move with Jaap Stam. So who better to learn off than Jaap Stam, because I think he's got a little bit of aggression in his game since he come back from Scotland. We saw that against Salford in the Class of 92. I'm talking shit. It wasn't the Class of 92 Salford game. In the friendly that the under-21s had with Salford, it looked like he had a bit of aggression about him, and I think he needed that because he is a bit timid at times, but he's a big lad. So hopefully he can still continue to learn, and if he does go to Reading, I think he'll probably do well. Will we see the same with Rashford? I don't think so, no. I do think Rashford's going to be sticking around for the first team. Blackett isn't great. I disagree. I think Blackett could be really good. Whether he's going to be top level or not, I don't know, but he could easily be a Premier League footballer. Blackett and Borthwick-Jackson are better than Rojo, says Daniel Carlson. At left back, you can make that argument. Bay, New Vidic, says Marko Matic. He's impressed so far, hasn't he? Do I think Fosu Mensah is the next Paul Pogba? Completely different footballers. Sorry, I didn't catch the name there. It's going a bit fast for me to read. Let Hull have Pereira and Fosu. Wow, that's a hell of a shout, you know. And with how much Hull are lacking in terms of depth of squad, I wouldn't be surprised to see some players go to Hull, in all honesty. That's an excellent shout. Can you just check the mic's plugged in there for us at the top? Angel Gomez looking amazing. Go on for it. Fosu to Hull. I think Fosu to Hull's not a bad shout, in all honesty, because I do think he'll get limited game time at United this season. And the same with Borthwick-Jackson. You just got to have games. Tuanzebe better than Blackett, says Alex Rincon. Maybe. You've got to see what he does in the first team, haven't you, though? Because Blackett looked great coming to the first team. Mixed. Good sometimes, not so good the other times. Fosu Mensah is a destroyer. Correct, Hassan. Mensah, Pereira, Rashford should all go out on loan because they won't get game time. If they're not going to get game time, I agree. You've got to take them out on loan. It'll do wonders for them. I'm from Hull and we are desperate. Jordan, you're not wrong, mate. You are struggling and have done fantastically well to get 2 wins. Hopefully you don't make it 3 on a bounce this weekend, though. Jones to Stoke, Liam. I saw that myself. It's something I could see happening. I saw that yesterday in the paper, actually. Who's back up for Shaw now? Well, you've got options, haven't you? You could use Riley still. Riley's still at the club. You've got Rojo. You've got Blind. You've got options at left back at the moment, haven't we? Why won't we see Bastian? Honestly, don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on with him. Honestly, really do not know what is going on with him. And there was something today. Sport 1 in Germany have been saying that they don't think Schweinsteiger's going to leave United, which I think is kind of crazy. Blind would be back up for Shaw at left back whenever he's injured. It's not like Shaw gets injured a lot, is it? He had a broken leg. That does take it out here a little bit. What other youngsters should go out on loan? Anyone who's on a cusp of first team that's not going to get games, I think. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, we loaned your son. Where do I see Zlatan in 3 years? I think he'll probably go on an MLS tour, to be honest, after 3 years, after winning a couple of back-to-back titles here at United. Defo don't beat United. Rashford won't play at this rate. Why not? It's early in the season. Mkhitaryan's not playing yet. Give him a chance. Donkey Rooney out, says Chris Smaldini. What players should we sell? I think Ashley Young and Phil Jones have got to be close to the door, I reckon. What will happen to Damian? Actually, Damian's another option at left back, isn't he? If he stays. What's up with the new rumours about Varane? I have not seen them, I'm afraid. What about Mkhitaryan going... What? I didn't see... Someone said Mkhitaryan to Blackpool? Come on, son. Bit early to be that drunk. Memphis on loan. No, not Memphis on loan. The comments are actually going too fast. Am I going to the under-21s games this season? I will be when I get the opportunity to. We're in Southampton today. I'm not going to Southampton to watch them, I'm afraid. Are we keeping Schweinsteiger... Selling Schweinsteiger and keeping Fellaini? Didn't catch the name. It looks like it could be that way, yes. Zlatan will not play every game this season. Why not? Looks good to me so far. I just saw a message about how's Chong looking. Chong, I'm hearing amazing things about from the people around the club in his games at the moment. He's not impressed at weekend, though, against Liverpool. We struggled against Liverpool in the first half. We ended up losing the game 2-1. But it wasn't awful. It didn't really have much of an impact on the game, though. I still think they lack a real striker in the under-18s to lead the line. What players could we buy? I don't think we need many or any, to be honest. Bay font, it's going too fast. I cannot read any of these comments. Someone says, what do I think of Callum Gribbin? Callum Gribbin will not make it, in my opinion, at Manchester United. He does not work hard enough. Yeah, he scores a couple of outstanding goals every now and then, but that literally is every now and then. He doesn't do it enough, doesn't do it consistently. And I don't like bagging on the youth players. I like to think that they've got the talent in them to work hard, but there's just an inherent laziness in him that I just think he's probably not going to make it. Will Keane to Hull. That's a great shout, actually, because that's the sort of player that would probably go and do a real good job for them if they give him the opportunity, and I think they have to give him the opportunity looking how short they are on players. Januzaj was impressive in his first start. I actually haven't seen it yet, so I'll have to take your word for it. Someone said Huides. Love Huides. You know my thoughts on him. Chonginho will be shit. Not what I'm hearing, mate. Depaying for Marshall for a couple of games. He needs games time. I agree on that, although Marshall's looking pretty decent. These comments are going well too fast for me to read. Buy Luke Shaw. Why buy Luke Shaw if you wanted to promote Borthwick-Jackson? I think at the time, Borthwick-Jackson was nowhere near the radar, and Luke Shaw was obviously playing first team for Southampton. I think it was a good move. What are you doing? All right, okay. All right, so if you're just joining us, the news that we are talking about is Cameron Borthwick-Jackson has just been confirmed on a season-long loan to Wolverhampton Wanderers. I do think he's going to play a lot of games for them this year. Trying to figure out, by speaking to Wolves fans, is he going to play as a left-back? Is he going to play as a centre-half? And I think it will be a left-back. They've got a decent centre-half, decent left-back already. But I think the guy can also play as a right-back. So I think Borthwick's going to come in as a left-back for Wolves. He's going to get plenty of game time and hopefully lots of development, and then he comes back and he's going to put pressure on Luke Shaw, because pressure and competition for places is always a good thing, isn't it? So thank you everybody for joining us. We will be back at 4 with Transfer Talk on Facebook. So make sure you tune in for that, and we'll see you soon.